Hello everyone and welcome back to my US Diary official YouTube channel. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Ridge Forrester will horrify over Nick Marone's ring for Brooke Logan. In the meantime, Eric Forrester will sound the alarm to Ridge now that he's seen Nick's engagement ring for Brooke with his own eyes. It'll leave Eric indeed more determined to reunite Ridge and Brooke before it's too late. Once Ridge gets updates on Nick's marriage offer plans, he'll flip out and decide he needs to take drastic action. Ridge wouldn't want Brooke agreeing to tie the knot with Nick, so he'll plan to stop the boat lift she's set to go on. Nick will turn on the charm and ramp up the love. We'll see Nick give Brooke the royal treatment and do whatever he can to make her feel like the queen of his heart. Brooke will ultimately join Nick on his boat, but she'll make the mistake of sprawling out on the reverse. It wouldn't be a veritably safe position and will set the stage for Brooke to fall off formerly Nick loses control. Brooke's going to make quite a splash in the coming occurrences, but help will be on the way. That's because Ridge will make a splash of his own and save Brooke once she's thrown into the water. While Finn Finnegan finds that he just see and stop digging for answers. At the sanitarium, Finn and Bridget Forrester were eventually suitable to defy Grace, but it didn't do much good. Grace didn't give any details on the slice-edge procedure that Liam Spencer apparently had. Finn still wants to see Liam's full medical records as well, since the facts just aren't making sense for him. Grace tried to put off all the questions and pushed Finn to trust her, but he'll keep probing anyway. It wouldn't be long until Finn realizes Grace has been running a brain excrescence fiddle. Some shocking news is surely coming up for Finn soon. Nick was planning to take Brooke on a romantic boat lift. Ridge supposedly beat him to the punch. The spouses take a gorgeous lift across the water to Capri, the tune Indelible playing. Fun fact: no other cleaner does position shoots or has the product values. Sure, the stories being told against those backgrounds are. At the position of the fashion show, Eric takes a moment to tell Ridge what he saw last night: Brooke and Nick kissing, and advise that his son is about to lose the woman everyone differently knows is perfect for him. Ridge confronts Brooke with this and she says, in substance, "Hey, at least someone's making in trouble." But enough with Brooke and Ridge's game of drive me/pull you, it's time for a fashion show. Oddly, it's being held in a eatery and no bone. Seems to be paying a bit of attention to the models, let alone what they're wearing. But the setting is gorgeous. It all leads to Brooke strutting her stuff as the crowd goes wild. Watching over a napping comatose Luna, Lee vows that she's not going to let her bastard/grandchild bones. At the same time, Sheila's complaining to Cleric about not knowing where Luna was buried. She's tried getting answers from Lee, but is getting no response to her calls and textbooks. Why didn't she ask follow-up questions when the two of them were at Il Giardino? And Lee blazoned, "I've handled it." Lee strolls in to pick up her takeout. She acts irked to see Sheila, at the place in which she works and lives. Is there no other eatery in the bitsy city of Los Angeles? One where people can go rather than patronize a woman who has tried to kill them? In any case, Sheila virtually begs Lee to let her visit Luna, wherever she's been buried or her ashes spread. Lee, still, remains tight-lipped. After the show, the press demands Brooke and Ridge, the king and queen of fashion, pose for prints together. Brooke grows decreasingly uncomfortable before dashing off, with Ridge in hot pursuit. Meanwhile, repairs on Nick's boat still aren't ready, but his Italian confidant manages to arrange an volition. He jumps in surprisingly large but veritably cool-looking auto and heads for the point of the fashion show. Arriving in city, he stops a foreigner and asks where the fashion show is. For some reason, the rando knows exactly where it is, transferring Nick scurrying off to the fashion show, where he runs directly into a dissatisfied Eric, who declares that the seaman isn't welcome. Overlooking the ocean, Ridge catches up with Brooke, who's had as important as she can take. "Everybody is happy to see us together. But the trouble is we're not together," she says, admitting that the whole on-again/out-again thing is driving her insane. "Imagine how we feel, girl. Every time I look at you I can see how important you love me, but you're too damn stupid and stubborn to admit it. He counters that he doesn't enjoy seeing her like this, asking her not to go. "I can't stay then," she sighs, only for him to say she can't leave. Steffi and Hope tell Liam that his excrescence is gone. Finn says he just looked at the reviews himself. He'll be suitable to watch his little girls grow up. At Forrester, Brooke worries about the press release for Italy going out. Ridge assures her they can still cancel if they've to because of Liam. Just also, Katie and Will burst in with inconceivable news. They declare that Liam had experimental brain surgery that worked. He's cured. They all ejaculate with happiness. Will enthuses about being suitable to spend further time with his aged family. Taylor decides to communicate the sanitarium to see if she can get further information. Ridge urges her to do so, they've people to thank. Will and Ridge get into it about Bill. Will says he's floundering with guilt. Ridge wouldn't forgive him anytime soon for what he did. He's the reason Luna was out of captivity. He put my son in peril. Will thinks he's off to a good launch with saving Liam. Brooke asks Taylor if she's heard from the sanitarium. All she knows is that Grace inked off on Liam's discharge. They all go over Liam being strong and how nothing is more precious to him than his kitties. Taylor still has questions, but what matters most is that he's going to live. In the design office, Elektra asks Ivy if she's okay. She knows the news about Liam has been hitting her hard. Ivy can't get over the unfairness of it all. They go over how close Ivy and Liam used to be. Elektra can tell he still means a lot to her. Ivy recalls he was there at one of the smallest points of her life. Knowing his life is about to be cut short has made her realize how important she's missed him. Ivy tells Elektra that Liam's still the stylish swain she's ever had. She runs down his list of attributes and says he's the whole package. Elektra giggles that he and Will didn't inherit those traits from their father. Ivy says, luckily, none of Bill's sons are like him. She reflects on her and Liam having a moment at Il Giardino before he got sick, and admits he was one of the main reasons she came back to LA. Now, she has to figure out how to say farewell ever. Elektra didn't realize Ivy had similar deep passions for Liam. Ivy complains that she allowed. She had all the time in the world. She wishes she could have been there for him as a probative friend. I didn't know. Elektra assures her there's still time. Ivy can't indeed suppose about him dying. He's just so youthful. Elektra says it's importing heavily on Will to no bone. Is ready to say goodbye. At the sanitarium, Grace is codifying on her stage when her phone dings. She reads a communication of deep gratefulness from Bill and looks stressed out. Bridget comes by and wants to speak to her about Liam Spencer. She questions her about subscribing off on Liam being discharged so soon. Bridget keeps questioning her decision until Grace says she doesn't have time for this discussion. Her phone rings and she eyeballs Bridget until she leaves. Turning back to the phone call, she says, I was just about to call you. At Bill's place, he tells Liam that he just talked to Will and Wyatt and gave them the awful news. Liam's sensations, it's really gone? They all assure him it is. He's going to grow old with them and be with them for a veritably long time. Liam cries. Steffi and Hope ask how he's feeling, and Liam says he's tired. They want him to rest, but he wants to see his girls. Hope offers to call the nurse and have her bring them over. Hard, Finn asks Bill if he's had any further contact with Dr. Buckingham. Bill says none other than a textbook communication. Finn sensations that this is a mind-blowing case. Bill agrees, it's a phenomenon. Finn frowns. At the sanitarium, Bridget paces and thinks about Grace telling her and Finn that the mass in Liam's brain was inoperable. She also flashes to Finn saying that releasing Liam so soon was standard operating procedure, and that it was veritably odd. Bill tells Hope and Steffi that when Grace came to him with the experimental procedure, he just had to go for it. Hope says they're thankful. Bill declares there's nothing he wouldn't do for his boy. He sits by Liam's bedside and tells him how thankful they got relief of the excrescence. He apologizes for the Luna part of it. He'll no way forgive himself for venturing him. Liam cracks, "Thanks for the surgery." Steffi and Hope are sure he's keen to see Kelly and Beth. They'll make sure they know he's going to be okay. Finn enters with the girls and Steffi and Hope explain that their pater was at the sanitarium, but everything is going to be okay and there's nothing to worry about. The girls train around the bedside and ask if he's all right. Liam says now that they're there, he's the stylish ever. He shows off his tubes and chapeau. "Do you suppose it's cool?" The girls get into bed with Liam and Steffi tells them he's an idol. Hope knows it may be confusing to see him like this. Finn explains the machines and says he's mending really well. They've so important to look forward to. Hope and Steffi remind their girls of how important Liam loves them. There will be numerous further daddy-son balls. Liam and the girls express their love. Bill murmurs, "Stylish plutocrat I ever spent." Grace looks at the $1,000,000 bone. Deposit pending, transfers it into her account, and flashes through Liam's medical trip. Getting up and pacing, she begins to wheeze.